What's good? You know what it is. It's the Boxing Clinic. Your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back on the afternoon grind, a little late start. But speaking on Erickson, Lubin, says he's going to expose Charlo and break him as a fighter. Very strong words. Has a very nice amount of confidence going into this fight. And probably a nice amount is an understatement. He's very overconfident, borderline cocky, boastful. All those things. He's a very confident young fellow. I remember when I first seen him come on the scene under Mike Tyson Promotions. And it wasn't, much. It wasn't, the talk wasn't about his skill or him as a, professional. It was the talk about him was skipping over the Olympics and, not wanting to go for the Olympic gold. And that was a large talk, about his career early on. And he wanted to be a pro. Christopher Little B. Hop Cobra did the same thing. A lot of guys' ambitions, is not to get the gold medal because the U.S. amateur boxing system is starting to be broken. It's starting to be one of the lower level ones. Now Russia is starting to become a top one. Now, Cuba is back. They starting to do good things. A lot of Americans don't want to go through the amateur system, for the Olympics. People being jerked, Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather. I want to go through that. Let me get my money. Let me get my world title. I want the cheese. And can't blame him. But, him talking about breaking Charlo as a fighter and exposing him, says he sees a lot of flaws, getting into the particulars about the flaws. But there are flaws in every fighter, But, with him talking about breaking Charlo, I'm exposed his flaws. He has to look at his flaws, Like I told you guys with Conor McGregor, I know it's two different type of guys. You got an MMA guy and a boxer guy. But you could simulate 12 rounds of sparring, but it ain't going to prepare you. Spar 40 rounds in a row, interchange of sparring partners, all that good shit. Nothing can, prepare you for a real hard 12 rounds of, 12 rounds of mayhem, with a world champion. No matter if it's 80 belts out there, you can't simulate that. And you can't simulate the pace. You can't simulate what he's going to do. You can't simulate the electricity in the crowd. People, perform different under different types of pressure. Yeah, he say he's ready. Is he really ready? And does he really know the facts that he's really ready? Remember, use an analogy. Remember in Drumline when, the first one, the only one I like, when Nick Cannon, character, thought he was ready. And he wasn't, went out there and he froze up and then he eventually jumped in front of the drum major and started doing his thing. But he thought he was ready. But when the time came and the light started shining in front of all the crowd, he really wasn't ready. And does Erickson Lubin has a case of that? He can look at, things on film about Charlo, say, I can see I can expose this, I can expose that. But what, he's not equating into the math question is this. Fighters tend to get better, in their 20s. And, Jamel is 26. He's going to cover up those flaws. He might not give you the same look he gave Violence Monterosian or Charles Hadley or John Jackson. You might not have those opportunities, and you might not have the attributes to pull off what they did. You see what John Jackson do. Oh, he's a C fighter, or he's not that good of a fighter. I can do that. You get in there, and it's not the same approach. So will he be fully prepared? And those are my questions. My question is, my two main questions about him is, going to 12 rounds at a high level, because he's never done it before. When you haven't done it before, it's hard. You see how, Conor McGregor broke down. And Floyd wasn't even really pushing the pace like that. And my second question, he's so confident. And when that confidence gets broken, usually guys aren't the same. They're not the same. And if his confidence is broken at any point in this fight, or if it wavers at any point in this fight, he can be out of there. He can get knocked out, or he can just totally give up. We've seen people with that, guys with that bad boy, Billy Gun Ho, bad Billy badass image get broken. And at a young age, for him to get broken, he might not be the same fighter that he once was. And if that confidence gets broken in that fight, he's done. It's done. And like I said, I think he's taking it too soon, but he doesn't. So, why should I worry about it? But the one thing about it is people, Jamel is in a lose-lose situation. He beats Lubin. Oh, he was too young. He was too green. Don't mean nothing. He loses. Oh, you weak. You weak. You whack. How you lose to a 21-year-old. You know what I'm saying? And, that's where he at. Lubin has nothing to lose, pretty much. If he loses, oh, I was too young. So it's a great opportunity for him. And if he wins, he's a budding superstar. So we'll see, man. Boy, CJ Goodfellow, Boxing Clinic. Gone.